So this is my 1970s Ford 555 backhoe, which we've done a tremendous amount of work to. We're putting her to use today. That is the YouTube yacht, which is a boat-shaped and boat-themed rental cabin that we're working on building out of YouTube revenue. This is a pretty good sized, oh, what was that? It's fine, everything's fine. Burnt out stump. We're gonna try to finish getting that dug out the rest of the way today. And then everything else you see, including that mess over there, and all the trees kind of right in this area, are all gonna get cleared and pushed together in a pile down there. So we can try to get a good start on the rough grade for how everything's gonna finish out around the structure. And if you're wondering why now, that thing there was just recently installed. Rumor has it they're having some issues with it, and they're gonna take it out for the next couple days as well to fix those issues. So we got a couple decent days. I'm gonna take advantage of them. Plus, I kind of just want a little break from the framing. So let's sit in the backhoe for a little bit. This pile of dirt here is gonna go ahead and get shoved around the bottom side. We're gonna start out with that. We're leaving a little bit of a platform right there for the lift whenever we come to sheet this, but the rest of that can go ahead and get pulled out. I was given strict instructions by the Admiral that she picked some rocks the other day, and these are to be saved. So we are done with this walkway. It served its purpose. It's not gonna be long enough to do what we need to do anymore, and it's starting to crack and break a little bit. Honestly, makes me a touch nervous. We're gonna start taking all this dirt and swinging it that way. I've got a smooth face bucket, not a tooth bucket, and it just bounces off all these rocks. So when it comes to cutting in this, it's easier for me to take that bucket, pull everything, swing it, and then we can shove it around. One of the big reasons we're wanting to go ahead and clear this section out, this is where the secondary water and secondary electric will come in for the cabin. So if we can go ahead and get this pulled out of the way and shoved around down the bottom side, it just allows that rough grade to be in place and ready. Oh, wasp! Sorry. So that if we ever get the chance to go ahead and start trenching in that secondary stuff, the dirt work will be ready to go. Too lazy to get the drone out, but you guys can hang out up here for a minute. We're gonna start getting these bucket loads moved around to this side. We're just shoving it off that edge that drops off right there. We're gonna make a little bit of a flat area. Those trees are gonna go at some point as well. When were you gonna tell me my tire fell off? Y'all should have told me that a long time ago. That's a problem. All right, let's get on some flat. I don't think we're gonna do any more damage than we have already done here. It's got a tube in it. And there's the valve stem. I mean, what's the odds a fella can found this fancy pry bar? Well, that's something. Now that's a start. Tires over the tube. A couple days later, we got a new tire. Oh, easy, bud, she moves. Check out the non-bleed off on the cylinders though, huh? Checking fuel real quick. Oh yeah. Now these are not my dream tire by any means, all right? It's not a heavy industrial tire. It's just a general use ag tire. Two reasons. A fella just spent a bunch of money on that roof system. Look at that, that's done now. And a little bit of money on a haircut that, it is what it is, it's a haircut. I just don't have the budget for a nice heavy industrial tire. However, it is the same thing that's on the other side, and it's only 140 bucks for the tire and the mount. So here we are, balling on a budget, as some might say. It's warm enough, she might just kick over without the jump. We've had this conversation. The battery's good. It's just that the alternator is not charging. And even though in my head, it's only an hour of hooking up a multimeter and a couple other things to problem solve it and figure out what's going on, in reality, we know it's going to be a 2-day ordeal because that's just what it always turns into. Question though, a lot of people recommend those solar trickle chargers. And I tried one on this backhoe, but I didn't have much luck with it. Am I just using too small a one? If you guys have a solar trickle charger for a larger piece of equipment with a larger battery, what size did you go with? What brand? And did you like it? She just so easy, you know? Listen to her. She just gets better and better. Oh man, what a treat, huh? Maybe one day I'll actually put the seat back in. I don't know, let's not get carried away. That's about all we're doing for the ramp. We gotta leave a little bit for the lift. Remember, we gotta get Dirt Perfect's 80-foot lift back here and a level pad for it so we can run this side of the roof. Next thing we're gonna do, sneak this thing around the corner and we're gonna do some hoe work. We're gonna start swinging all of this stuff over that way, pull a little bit of that hill out, pull some of these trees, start working all that stuff downhill to a burn pile, and then we can start tearing into that monster. Ah, neat. Cool. We almost did something, didn't we, fellas? Okay, let's get some tools. We got all the necessities. Got the old rattler, comes in handy. Some wrenches, a breaker bar for that, yep. Sometimes if this doesn't rattle it loose, I can put the breaker bar adapter on that, and then that goes onto the wrench. We'll see if we can get this thing off there. Spins her right off there, every time. Yeah, most times. Look at that. Oh, but you're gonna destroy the fitting, Mike. You know we're replacing the hose, right? We're not reusing the fitting. Easy peasy. Oh, it's almost like cheating. Except the hard line's bent and I can't quite get my wrench in. There it is. So I got a little bit of a dilemma. Oh, she went, didn't she? Yeah. I could drive about 3.5 hours round trip to the hydraulic shop where they could put that exact style fitting on there, or I can drive an 1.5 hour round trip to the local mom and pop shop and we could just run a longer hose so it comes back into that fitting, or they might have a different style 90. And I think, given that this is the machine, we're just going to make it work with the mom and pop shop. Got the new hose. Took about 1.5 hours round trip everything. Hopefully we can get this to fit okay. They didn't have that exact 90 style block like we were talking about, but they did have just a regular 90, and I think that's going to work fine for us. Get everything started, then we can kind of get it bent to where we want it. Honestly, that's not bad like that. A lot of people that tell me I need to replace all the hoses, and I mean, they will all eventually get replaced, but we're on the payment plan, right? We're on the, we'll replace them as they blow, because that's what I can afford plan. Round 27, fight. Remember, don't throw your tools, it's bad for them. We're gonna try and get spun around, back up the ramp just a little bit, do a touch of dozer. Yeah, no, that's a loader. Do a touch of loader work, keep working our way across. We tried to burn the heck out of this stump, and it was kind of damaged before we cut it down. You guys remember we had nuts 319. Pete came down and cut this thing down for us, but it's still a pretty good size. We'll see what kind of fight she puts up. It's definitely a little awkward digging out a stump this size on the side of a hill with an older backhoe. An excavator or an actual track hoe would be phenomenal, or something bigger would also be phenomenal. But I definitely want this thing out of here so we can get everything cleaned up, shaped up, and looking decent. We don't want a nasty burnt out stump sitting here. We could keep piling things up on it and burn it and do that thing, but for me, just getting it gone, that's the solution I'm looking for. So it looks like we might have some tap roots. You can see we got one going down pretty good there. I got the we've got the backhoe turned around and I was nosing the loader into it. I think I got a little bit more loader power than I do breakout force with the bucket on the back of the machine. So we're gonna take the 55 and we're just gonna have to start cutting some roots. I'm gonna cut a notch in that big enough that I can easily get the loader underneath, try to break that out and just kind of keep working our way around. A ton of people have been asking if I still like these chains. Remember they sent me some last spring, I think. I did a follow-up review with them on my second channel, which is just called Kleeman. So far, I mean, I've been happy with them. I have no complaints. And I also picked up a carb adjustment kit. From them. It's also got little brushes for cleaning the carb, and then like every little adjustment tool you need, which for both of my saws is just the little bitty flathead. But it's got every other adjustment you need, and they're super cheap, like what, like 12 bucks for this. Carburetors, chains. The nice thing about having a price point chain around the property is exactly what we're doing now. I've got some Husky chains up there and some steel chains up there, but having a price point chain on this saw when I'm getting ready to just absolutely trash this thing, you know, saves me a few bucks on the other chains I have. In short, I still like it. Also, my father has my chaps right now, so yeah, I blame him if my leg gets cut off. I suppose we can dig out around it just a little bit. We'll just set that there, I guess. I just can't do it. I can't stand to see the chain in dirt like that. It just drives me crazy, not to mention it's just dulling so fast it's going to be more of a fight. I'm just going to torture myself with this fella. A Sawzall goes a long way as well if you're responsible and remember to charge all your batteries the night before. If you don't, a good punishment like this will help you remember. You know, that's science. These are nice rocks. Now it's sitting in a great spot. I don't know if you can tell, we're finally getting some movement up on that edge. I think getting through that one root and allowing us to actually get underneath the thing is going to help us. I need to back up, push me a path down on around, kind of past that maple right there, and then see if we can't get this side popped. And we'll try not to end up in this hole as well. It's a pretty big goal there. Watch the top of this piece right there. We're starting to get the wiggles, which means it's starting to break free. We're down here on this edge of the root. Hopefully we can get that, pop that corner, and that's going to be the key into the whole thing. I was looking from the cab and I thought to myself, man, that pin looks longer than it normally is. Right, we're missing parts of the operation here. Some 7018, that's a fine. Okay. Oh, look at that.
Huh? Beautiful. You'll get a good pin there, Mike? Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll just get a real good pin in it for sure. I need to get out of this situation that I'm in because we need to move around to that side. So I gotta get climbed out. Climbed out? Climbed? I climbed it. No, yeah. Climbed out and then pushed around so we can keep working our way around. I think we're making headway now. Looks like we're going out the front ways. All right. We'll crawl up just a little bit, pull some of that down, and maybe we can get out a little easier. Yeah, I'd say that's just embarrassing. Oh, what the heck just happened? Well, that was something, huh? Wasn't that a treat? Backhoes, they're not good on hills or mud. They're much of anything, but it beats a shovel, I suppose. I don't know how I'm getting out of the spot I'm in. But that's all right. Just kidding. I got a little bit of a plan. We're gonna see if we can't get up the hill just a little bit. It's gonna be kind of tricky with those logs in the way. I might have to get the saw and cut them up, but we'll see what happens. The rock is just an added bonus, but the progress is palpable. Sounds like something Bear Grylls would say. Next thing I need to do, run a file across that chain and take the saw and just cut that into pieces where I can actually push through that with the backhoe. It's almost impossible to get a chain to come back from hitting a rock or hitting dirt, but we'll get it good enough to make a few cuts in some dead wood. A lot of people want to know how those chains took a file. There's still quite a bit of fine stuff in there, but after running it through some rock and some dirt, I still feel like it did okay taking a file to it. I don't know when the camera died exactly, but I do know we're back on the happy side of the hole. So that's good. Hopefully we're getting close. There we go. Put up a pretty good fight in the first half, no doubt about it. I wish I had more time today to work on it because I think we could get her finished out. It's about 5 o'clock right now. But she's headed the right direction. That's good. That's really good. And even though we had to put some money into it while we were using it on this, a new hose and a new tire, which it clearly needed both. This old 555, she puts up a pretty good fight herself. But she gets the job done. And I'd say that's a pretty good test on that quick attach. If it hasn't broken yet, I think we're headed in the right direction on that as well. Next video, probably right back on that. We're on a standstill on sheeting the roof and the wall until we get the lift. We are on the waiting list. Should be in the next couple weeks, but until then, we might as well get some work done around the property while we're waiting. No sense of doing nothing. Probably hop back up on the dump truck next week too. I can't thank you guys enough for watching, and I hope I get to see you on the next one.